everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1993 movie Return of the Living Dead 3. This is for day 7 of my 31 days of horror and everything, and I just watched this movie for the first time in forever. This was a movie I used to watch all the time as a kid when it would come on TV and everything. I absolutely love this movie. It's even better now than it was back then to me, and it's easily my favorite out of this franchise so far. I haven't seen the 4th and 5th movies yet and everything. I hope to see them before too long, but anyway, the movie's directed by Brian Yuzna. I hope I said his name right. And written by John Penny. And this movie follows Kurt and Julie, a young couple. His dad is works for the government and stuff, and they sneak into the government labs and stuff and see that they're doing tests on zombies and stuff, and trying to see if they can figure out how to make them be like a human. And there's this other person that's wanting to use them as weapons and stuff, and everything. And after they get home and everything, they're talking and everything, and she's like really bothered by it and everything. But his dad gets home and everything, and he tells him that they're going to be moving to Oklahoma City, which is really cool because that's where I'm from. He tells him that they're going to be moving and everything, and Kurt's saying he refuses to go because he really likes Julie and everything. He doesn't want to stop being with her and everything. And so they take off and everything, and they're trying to run away together pretty much. And they're on a motorcycle, and she's distracting him and everything, and they crash, and she flies into a pole, like a light pole, and kills her instantly, of course. And instead of just moving on and stuff, which I can understand his reasonings and stuff, but instead he takes her back to the government place. He sneaks in there, and he brings her back to life as a zombie and everything. And the rest of the movie is pretty much them on the run from the government and everything, and they get in a situation with this Mexican gang and everything, and they're after them too, and they're trying to get away from all that, and they get help from a friend, or from a guy named Riverman and everything, and it all leads up to a big final showdown with the Mexican gang and them, and that pretty much all of them get turned into zombies, of course, the Mexican gang. And then the government shows up and takes them in, and he finds out that they're trying to turn her into a weapon and everything, and he pretty much from there is how it ends. I don't want to say too much about the ending in case you haven't seen it and everything, because it has a pretty dark, twisted ending and everything. But I just absolutely love this movie. It's probably my favorite zombie movie of all time, for sure, and it's my favorite in this franchise. Everything. I just absolutely love this movie. The nostalgia was so high when I rewatched it, because I'd been looking and looking for this movie and everything, and then when I saw the case to this movie, when I looked for it at the store and everything, I was like, dang it, that's the movie I've been looking for all these years. I didn't even know it was part of this franchise and everything. So it was so awesome getting to find out about that. That I've actually seen a movie in this franchise that I didn't even realize was one of them and everything. I just love, it's a really unique take on the zombie story and everything. It's and everything. I like how it's like a romantic movie and stuff, and I just really enjoyed it. The cast is great in this. J. Trevor Edmond plays Kurt. I think he does a really good job and everything, and the scene when Julie dies and everything, he's really emotional, and even though you can't really see the tears and stuff, the way he does his crying and stuff does kind of feel realistic and stuff, and I thought he did a really good job. And Belinda Clark plays Julie, and she is great in this movie. In this movie, she's goes by Mindy Clark is her name in the credits, but she's absolutely wonderful as Julie, and she's really awesome. There's like a scene in the movie where she like has all these little sharp objects sticking in her skin and everything, because like when she's in pain, her hunger isn't as bad or something like that, and she's doesn't want to hurt Kurt and everything. I really like that about this movie. Like their relationship is really believable and everything, and they have really great chemistry and everything. And Kent McCord plays John, who is Kurt's dad, and even though I don't fully like the character, I do kind of see where he comes from, though. I mean, he's just trying to do his job and everything. He does try to be more sympathetic towards these zombies instead of just wanting to turn them into weapons and everything. But he was good. James T. Callahan plays Colonel Peck, who is kind of on his side about things, and he's good too. And the little bit he's in there. Sarah Douglas plays Lieutenant Colonel Sinclair, who is the one that's wanting to use them as weapons and everything. I think she does a pretty good job too. She's not a very likable character and everything, but she does a pretty good job. And then Basil Wallace plays Riverman, who's a character that helps Kurt and Julie, and I think he did a really good job as well and everything. And like with the first two movies, this has some absolutely awesome and amazing special effects. I think this actually has the best special effects out of the three that I've seen so far and everything. Like the makeup effects and stuff on her when she has all the little things piercing her body and everything. It's some scenes is really cringy and everything, but the special effects are just so great on here. And I just really, really love this movie. I think it's a great zombie movie. It's probably, like I said, it is my favorite zombie movie that I can say that I've seen. This is one that I really, really have always loved and everything. I'm glad that I finally found it and everything. And I definitely would recommend this to fans. If you haven't seen the first two movies, you don't really have to have them to understand it. I mean, it has a little bit of the same stuff, mainly with the fog coming out of the canisters and everything that turns them into zombies and stuff. But that's really about the only thing they have in common and everything. I like that about this movie, is that it feels like a standalone movie as well. It's not really a horror comedy like the first two, which I think is perfectly fine. This one blends like romance with the zombie and horror genre, and I think it works perfectly and everything, just like the comedy worked perfectly in the first two movies. It's just a really, really great series. I absolutely love the Return of the Living Dead franchise up to this point. I haven't seen 4 and 5. I'm looking forward to seeing them eventually. In fact, I'm really considering maybe even going and getting them sometime, maybe in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, so I just absolutely love this movie. I'd say I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. I almost gave it a 10 because of nostalgia, but I'm going to go ahead and go with a 9.5 because I really do love this movie and everything. The pacing is perfectly done too. Like, that's another thing I love about this franchise, is all the movies, they seem to go by really fast and everything. They don't really seem like they're slow paced or anything, and I like the zombies are creepy looking, and the way they do the makeup and stuff. And there's a scene at the end of this movie where they are shooting off limbs and stuff, and the special effects are just absolutely amazing in this and everything. So but yeah, I absolutely love Return of the Living Dead 3. It's one of my favorite zombie, or it's my favorite zombie movie, and it's one of my favorite horror movies, and it's probably my favorite one that I've seen since I started doing these reviews for the 31 Days of October. It's probably my favorite one so far out of all the ones I've done. I don't know if it'll still remain my number one. I'm thinking about doing a ranking of all 31 movies that I reviewed and stuff at the end of the month and everything. So I'm really considering doing that, but so far this one is really high up there. It probably is even my favorite one. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Return of the Living Dead Part 3. And if you've seen Part 4 and 5, are they good? I haven't seen them, and I've heard that they were okay and everything. I've heard they were TV movies, so let me know in the comments if you think they're pretty good or if they're as good as these other three and everything. I'd like to know about that if they are. And thank you all for watching this video, and have a good day, everybody.